are no bad guys, just disturbed guys.
National college baseball writer for CSTV, Eric Sorenson.
Speaking of, this is like Christmas Day for me, by the way.
LSU wins it!
All right, just watch out if they show up with those Houston bats at your doorstep.
Cinderella wins the national championship!
He's Eric Sorenson. He knows everything.
The biggest fan of the sport you'll ever find.
Hey there, you guys. I'm coming to you today from my favorite watering hole, I guess you could say. Jack Daniel's Distillery in Lynchburg, Tennessee, one of the greatest places in the history of America. You know, I thought I would come to you guys this week all pissed off, and as it turns out, I'm not as mad as I thought I would be at the NCAA selection committee. That's because they did a little bit better job this year. They still didn't do a great job. A lot of people want to pat the committee members on the back. I don't know. I'm still not going to go that far. They still left off Fresno State, which is a victim of the RPI more than anything else. It's probably not the committee's fault, more the RPI's fault. But nonetheless, some of the things I wanted to talk about real quick, because I'm having to hold this son of a bitch and it's getting heavy already. I'm not that strong with my bony girl arms. One of the things, I mentioned before the weekend, I was hoping the NCAA tournament, or the NCAA tournament selection committee, would not put a lot of heaviness on the conference tournaments, and they didn't really do that too much. I think some people were saying that Arkansas dropped off a little bit because of because they didn't have such a good SEC tournament. But anyway, so they didn't do too bad a job with that. They put the regional in the Northeast. I think it's great. I don't care how much money they lose. I don't care how little the attendance is. That doesn't mean jack shit. To me, it's all about getting the word out to more sections of the country, and the Northeast needed it. And UConn gave the selection committee a good idea to be able to get up there and get a regional up there in the Northeast. It's good. So if you don't agree with me, well, it's all right. You're wrong. Anyway, also, I think the committee used common sense a little bit more than the RPI in certain spots, like Georgia Tech getting a national seed. I thought that was a good thing. Well, not a great thing, because I still think TCU deserved the national seed more than anything else. I'll get to more of that in a bit, but the other thing I thought was a little telling was Tim Weiser saying in the media conference how the RPI, they're still saying the RPI is still the best formula to use, and it's the one that they feel most comfortable with, and even when they bring it up with the coaches, they're still in agreement with it. But I can't see that, because every coach I talk to, other than maybe Paul Maneri at LSU, has said that the RPI is horrible and it's a terrible system and it's biased against their respective school in one way or another. So anyway, I'm not really buying all that, but that's what he said. So also, I thought it was great that they had some teams being put on the road. LSU going on the road for the first time in about 100 years. Ole Miss going on the road. And Florida State going on the road. These are teams that a lot of times get to play at home in the cozy confines. And, it's all right to do it once or twice, but they seem to do it about 10 or 12 years in a row. And I thought Arizona getting a bid was a product of the RPI. I really don't think they deserve much of a bid, because they're so cold, they're not doing well, and I doubt they'll turn it around in a snap, because they're a young team. They'll be back next year, but they're just such a young team. And they finished 6-13. They're living off their RPI, and that was built up by wins over Cal State Fullerton and Washington State in the early part of the season. They played those teams. Lucky for them, I got an itch. Lucky for them, they played them when they weren't that good. So I think you get the idea there. Also, let's see. Oh yeah, I wasn't too happy about all the rematches and all the regionalization of Texas and TCU again. South Carolina and Coastal Carolina, I hope would get split up. Fullerton, UCLA, Jesus, they seem to play every other year. So I was hoping that would happen, but it didn't. By the way, I'm sweating my balls off right now. Anyway, Florida and Miami is another one. They already played this year. I was hoping they'd split that up, but they didn't. Another couple of other things that I wanted to point out. A lot of people are putting a lot of they're putting a lot of emphasis on the seedings. Oh, this team got this seed. and how did this team get this seed and that team didn't get a higher seed. And I think, I really don't put too fine a point on all that seeding stuff. I think that, you get in the NCAA tournament now, it doesn't matter where you are really, unless it's like home field advantage for like an LSU. Obviously was always big. South Carolina, Ole Miss maybe have a bit of a beef for home field too, but at the same time, those two have been beaten at home in the past. So I'm not going to put too fine a point on the where teams are seated. I think if you're crying about it, you're just looking for an excuse. Just get out there and play. Fresno State was a 4 seed. They kicked everybody's ass. They went to Arizona State and won against one of the better teams, possibly in college baseball history. So anyway, just get out there, quit your bitching, and start your pitching is kind of the way I like to look at it. Seeding doesn't really matter too much at this point, as long as you get in and as long as you have a healthy team. I guess that's more than anything else. A couple other things. First of all, to ESPN, really, you guys need to do something about that selection show. Having Kyle Peterson not in studio, come on, guys, just fly him up to Bristol, have him in studio, make it look a little bit more professional. Poor Kyle, it seemed like, I'm holding it with the other hand now, poor Kyle seemed like he was like in a closet somewhere. I say bring Kyle Peterson out of the closet. Anyway, he looked like he was in a closet, wrapped up in a box or something. And they never did show where the regionals were going to match up with the super regionals on the show. That kind of pissed me off because I was in a Chili's restaurant watching the selection show because my father's summer house in Tennessee, he doesn't even believe in cable television. So he didn't even have freaking ESPN, so I had to go to a restaurant to look at it. But anyway, the show had a lot of poor production value. I didn't like the way they did it this year. No Will Kimmey in the studio either. God damn, people, come on. Anyway, so I hope they square that up next time. They are televising the regionals again, which is good. The bad part is the Fullerton regional is going to be televised, which means the games out there start at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. That's too late for me even, practically. That's 11 p.m. Eastern time. I think that's kind of bad, but anyway, it's good that they're showing those games. And the Coral Gables regional, of course, is the other one they're showing. Now, I just want to say one quick thing. I went to the Sun Belt tournament. If you guys have been reading, some of my stuff this week. I went to the Sun Belt tournament and a few games at the A-Sun tournament and had a great time out here. I love the people at Middle Tennessee. They were really nice to me, and I got a free shirt out of it too. And I'd show it to you if I wasn't holding this up to do this Baldcast. But anyway, had a great time. The Garrett Whittles story was compelling every time he got up. That was a great thing to follow. And I was glad to, serendipitously be able to see that. Even though I made my reservations for this thing a month ago, I didn't know it was going to have this 50-some-odd game hitting streak going on. Keep it up, Garrett. I think it's pretty damn cool that you're doing it. It probably will end before it gets to Robin Ventura's 58-game streak because they'll have a tough time down in Miami. But, they're a hot team. They're a team you have to watch for, actually, because their offense is freaking off the charts right now, playing like breathing through their eyelids. Anyway, had a great time there. I was going to go to the SEC title game on Sunday, but rain pushed back the Sun Belt tournament, so I kind of had to stick around, and that championship game became on Sunday, so I couldn't go to the SEC tournament, but that's okay. I think the SEC tournament kind of gets enough coverage. Everybody and their brother was there covering that tournament, so hopefully you guys got some good reading from some of the other national writers around. Anyway, had a great time out here. I'm about to catch a plane to head back to Los Angeles, and I can't wait to see LSU come out there to play at UCLA against the Bruins and against UC Irvine. So I hope you guys have a good regional weekend. I'll get back with you after that. So by the way, they call Nashville Music City. I'm sorry, but I went up and down the dial. I didn't find one damn punk rock station all week, or acid house station, or anyway. All right, so you guys have a good one. I'm going to go in here and wet my whistle. See you later.